All right, welcome everyone. This is our Empowering Leaders meeting. And, tonight we couldn't be at our Manhattan Success Event studio because there's tornado warnings going on. And so I just applaud all of you for getting on tonight and being on and just being part of this. And so, as I said before, this is a discussion. So if it's loud, or if you have like barking barks, barking dogs. Dogs are okay, like if they're like, because Molly comes down here and she'll be like panting heavy, and I'll be like, stop, you got to go away, you're distracted. But anyway, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to, I want to welcome everyone. I want to congratulate you all because you are all champions. You know what? What an awesome achievement last night. Do you know that we achieved about 12,000 wholesale in one day? 12,000 wholesale. You guys just, you never surprise, I'm never going to be surprised at your performance because it's just very awe-inspiring. So anyway, it wasn't the Jana Strunk show. It was totally a team effort. Everybody played part of it. And I'm just really, really proud of you all. So anyway, okay, so I'm writing down everyone's name that's on the call because I want to work.
I thought it was from the way I was left.
Okay. So I just muted out Billy Pryor. Billy, hold on a second. Billy, are you there?
Oh,
There we go.
yes, I am.
Okay, sounds great. Hey, if you got background noise, just make sure that you mute out, but then unmute when you do want to say something, okay? All right. Well, ladies, we're going to go ahead and get things started. Congratulations again on your achievement. And today we're going to be talking about a really fitting subject. Perseverance. This is one of my favorite subjects because this sounds silly, but my sister and I used to save these Boyd's Bears. I don't know if does anybody remember Boyd's Bears?
Yeah.
Did you do it too, Stacy? Okay, so I saved Boyd's Bears and they were really cute and homey. And anyway, one of them was these bears. It was just a little statuary, you guys. And so there was a statue of a bear climbing a cliff, and my sister Linda gave it to me. And it had a quote on the side, like the side of the cliff was bare, and it had like, it was B-E-R-E bear. But it had a quote on it from Calvin Coolidge. And I want to read you that quote, okay? It says, "Nothing in the world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent." So that quote has always spoke volumes to me and really described to me what perseverance is all about. That persistence and determination and consistency. And if you can get good at those things, there's nothing that you can't do. I promise. You know, when you you build your skills and build your skills, but you can be the most skilled person in the world. And if you don't follow through and follow up with people, and if you don't persevere, you're not going to get anywhere in this business. And so I wanted to visit with you all tonight about what perseverance. Okay, somebody's still got a lot of background noise. So if somebody's like having a party at your house, make sure that you mute out. All right, it's all good. So, okay, so first of all, my first question to you is this, which I posted about this. What does perseverance mean to you? So I'm going to go ahead and just go down the line. Let's see. Actually, let me start with Denise. Denise, what does perseverance mean to you, Denise?
It just means working towards a goal and making sure that you reach the goal. You continue to strive for that.
Awesome. That's great. I'm just taking notes. Okay, Stacy, what is your feeling? What does perseverance mean to you?
Parents for me, that, no matter, lots of times we try new things. So like I'm always telling my daughters, practice makes perfect, and that's what perseverance means to me. No one is perfect right out of the gate. No one has, all the skills or all of the knowledge, or anything like that. You persevere by learning and doing, just continuing to modify if necessary and change your approach, but you're working towards your goal.
I love that. So I think your microphone is kind of funky. It sounded fine earlier, but so what you were saying is that no one is perfect, but you started and you keep learning and you just keep on moving forward instead of quitting. Yes, very, very good. I love that. And Denise, I love that you work at something till you reach the goal. You don't stop. Caitlin, what does perseverance mean to you?
Perseverance. I don't know. I guess it can mean a lot of things. I guess I just live life every day knowing that I keep going, even though, yes, I'm brand new to Mary Kay and I've had some hard times, like trying to get people to say yes to me, but I don't quit and I just keep going and living my dream, because it is my dream, to help women and, do Mary Kay. So I feel like perseverance to me is just keep on trucking on, even though I'm not the greatest. I know that, but I feel like I learn something new every single day by having you and all the other women that's on this video. And even if they can't make it on this video, you all help me out. And I'm really thankful for all of you. So
That's awesome. So just keep learning and keep growing. I love that. And what I'm hearing from everyone is that with perseverance, really, there's no quitting. There's only moving forward and learning, growing and learning. So that is very powerful. Okay, Mandy Thomas, what does perseverance mean to you? I'm trying to unmute you, Mandy. It's not working. Okay, somebody's got a TV on. Guys, listen up. All right, can you hear me? Somebody's got a TV on. You need to turn your TV off or you got to mute yourself out because we can't have that. Okay, I love you, but I don't love your TV. Okay, all right, Mandy Thomas.
Can you hear me?
I can now. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I would just have to say that I piggyback on what everybody else has said. And I feel like right now, I'm like the queen of it, because I've started and stopped and started and stopped and started and stopped so many times. But I will say this is my last time of starting and stopping.
That's right.
That's what I have to say.
Tell everybody what you're going to do instead of start and stop. What are you going to do?
I'm back to booking every single lunch hour and getting back out there in front of people. I can sell it. I just have not put the time in to work it full circle like I have been before.
Wow. Yeah, that happens. And you know what? I know Cleta has talked about this before on a Boss Babes call about Zoom Eek, and that just means like going ahead and like I'm forging ahead and then putting on the brakes and then zooming ahead and then putting on the brakes for one reason or another. And I think that one of the things that we have to think about while we are approaching one of those moments that might make us put on the brakes, whether it's a job, whether it's health, whether it's maybe you get into a cozier spot financially and you're not as motivated to work your business, but consistency is rewarded. It really, really pays off for sure. So love that. Okay. All right, Stephanie, can I unmute you? Okay, Stephanie.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yay.
Okay. I have one earbud in because it's raining out here, so I didn't want you guys to hear it. What it means to me is basically doing something that I am completely afraid of, but I'm going to do it anyway because I have to. I'm kind of like Mandy. You know, I start and I stop, I start and I stop, and then I sit there and I go, you know, I had a really, really, really good weekend, and why can't I do that every day? So yeah, I need to focus, and I need to not think that I'm Superwoman and can do everything, and let go of a couple things that don't mean as much to me as what this does. So
Right. You know, I
that's
think
what
that, I love that. I love that because, you know, that's so true. I think that perseverance and the things that make a difference in your life sometimes means saying no to things that are not going to change your life. I remember Gloria Mayfield Banks saying at one point, she's the top national in Mary Kay. She'd say, put a piece of paper on the top of your TV and make a note on it. Say, is watching the rest of this going to change my financial future or change my life in 5 years? So she said, make sure you like tape it on your TV, and then like you can let yourself watch TV for a little bit, but then you got to flop that piece of paper down so you can see the note. Because, you know, we have to ask ourselves that question, is what I'm doing right now taking me towards the life I want to live? And so I think that that's so important, and persevering in that. Okay, you guys, we are going to be here all night because we have a lot of amazing, gorgeous women on here. Okay, so what I want you to do is, if you have not spoke yet and you would like to share what perseverance means to you, I would like you to hold your hand up. Okay, got Kayla, and I think everybody on that page shared. Okay, all right, Kayla. Did I see anyone else there? Okay, Bree, you're so funny. Okay, all right, Kayla, can you hear it? There you go.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. What perseverance means to me is keep on going through anything, through any trials that you may come up against. Just push through, and something that I've always told myself, I've been on my own since I was 19 years old, and I've had consistent change in my life because I'm a pastor's kid, so that's something I've always been prepared for. But like when times get hard, I always tell myself this may be like a valley that I'm in right now, but there's always going to be a mountaintop after this, no matter how hard the situation is.
I love that you mentioned the mountaintop and the valley, because you guys, sometimes what I see happens to people in their Mary Kay business is you're working your business and then you start going through a valley and then you sit down and want to party in the valley. What are you doing? You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
Do you want to just stay in the valley? You've got to keep on persevering. You've got to keep on walking through that, booking appointments and doing what you know works in this business so you can get through that zone where you're at. So, you know, I think that that's really important. So, Rosie, how do you feel about the word perseverance?
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Because I tried to get on my laptop and for some reason it's not showing my beautiful face. I don't have a camera. I don't know why I won't do that. But anyway.
Have that.
For me, wow, perseverance is getting right back up and doing something that you really might not want to do, but you know you got to do it. And there's been a lot of times in my Mary Kay business, or since I've started my Mary Kay business, where I didn't want to do something, you know, but then once I did it, or once I even did a little bit, and I kind of had that surge of joy, or that feeling of accomplishment, that kind of rejuvenated me. And the other thing about, I'm kind of getting off track here, but I guess I was just going to say, when you're having trouble staying on track, that's really the greatest time to reach up to your sales director, because I know for sure, because I have a really good one, that times when I was struggling or, just felt kind of stuck, Jana always had ideas for me, and she got me unstuck. I mean, you have to help get yourself unstuck too, but she was really instrumental in kind of nudging. Sometimes I just needed a nudge, and yeah.
Sometimes you're in the mud. It's like you get bogged down and you just need somebody to come pull you out. And so don't hesitate to reach up. And by the way, I had a good friend that's in heaven now. She was a Mary Kay sales director, and she said, your mind is a very dangerous place. It's like a bad neighborhood. And, it's kind of, you shouldn't even go and be going there alone a lot because it's dangerous. And so sometimes it's our own thoughts that just stop us. And so, Rosie, I love that you talked about getting back up and doing it. Think about this. Your kids are watching you. Your grandkids are watching you. People on social media are watching you. How do you handle things when you get knocked down? Do you whine and complain or blame other people? By the way, blame stands for be lame. Do not ever blame. But if you think about it, be that person of integrity. And if somebody says, oh, you didn't earn the trip? Yeah, I chose not to this time. And if they say, oh, you did? Yeah, I made a choice when I chose not to work as much as I should have to earn the trip or to earn the car. And so it's a choice, and it's okay to own that choice, but get back up and show people what you're made of. You know what? It shows your integrity, your perseverance, your grit. When you get knocked down, and you know what? Last night, I'm going to tell you something. Oh, wow. Coming off of last night. So we had some projected numbers that didn't come in. And I looked at Gavin at like 9:30 and I said, wow. Okay, I can make a choice to give up on this right now, or I can make a backup plan. And so I had a backup plan in place. I was strategic enough to put a backup plan in place. And that way, if we didn't come in with enough, that this other person was going to sign up. She was going to sign up and she was going to place an order. And so it's so important because he was watching me. And he's like, oh, no, you're not giving up now. And I'm like, no, you think I'm going to give up? I'm not giving up. But I will tell you that, you know what? Do you know how many cars my kids watched me go after and not make it? They saw that happen a lot. Do you know how many trips they've seen me go after and not make it? Do you know how many, different things that they saw me want to achieve and not make it? Well, you guys, it doesn't matter how many times you don't make it. It's how many times you get back up. And so perseverance and grit, that's what it's all about. And this is on my heart, so I'm going to share it with you. So last year, on a rainy day in October, we did not re-earn Cadillac status. We earned Premier status. And I remember parking my car on the side of Murdoch's. And by the way, they told me to park it there, so I wasn't trying to hide it. But it was okay with me that I was parking it on this one side by this building where nobody could see me, because I felt it was a weird feeling when I left my pink Cadillac and I went and hopped in my son's car and I'm like, you guys, let's go. It's kind of an emotional feeling, but I could have said, I'm not doing that again. We didn't earn that level of car again. But you guys, you can't find your identity in something external like that. You just can't. And so honestly, I am overjoyed. And the first thought that came to my mind this morning was that we're Pink Cadillac unit. I just feel like very blessed. But you can't find your identity in things like that because that's not who you are, okay? You are not your failures. You are not your missed attempts. You are not your past, and you're not your past record. So get over that and doggone it, get back up and fight for it. Fight for what your dream is. And you know what? You will be changed. As I look at our unit, we are a totally different unit than we were 12 months ago. And I mean, totally different. Like I see a future national area coming together. And so you guys, I'm not scared to drive a Cadillac at all. It's happening. It's going to be an amazing thing for us. And so next step is the Escalade. So anyway, I wanted to, okay, so I got to stop talking because the next question, I'm going to pose the next question to you. And I want to know who wants to talk about this. So we'll just do it that way. And then I'll call on your name and then you can do the speaking. Okay, does that sound great? Okay. Question number 2, how does your perseverance affect the people around you? How do you think your perseverance and your choices to persevere affect the people around you? Now, the people around you could mean your team, the people watching you, your family. Who would like to share? Oh, I see Katie Harris is on. Hello, KT. Okay. I'm just going to call Katie Harris out. All right, Katie girl. How does
Do I just start talking? I'm sorry.
You just start talking. How does your perseverance affect the people around you? Meaning your family, your team, your clients, everyone watching you.
Well, I will say this, as you know, yesterday was a good example, where when you do persevere towards the goal you've been working towards all month and you share that, like I shared it on my VIP page. I had people that messaged me that said that they were praying for myself and my future unit. I had people, rally together some orders for like Christmas. It's just like when you really put it out there and you share like what you're working towards and how you're going to work into like the last minute of the day to meet that goal. And I do have to say this, there's a lot of guilt that can cloud my mind about certain things. And like I have a team who has been with me. Some of them have been with me for 5-6 years. Some of them almost as long as I've been a consultant. Others are, newer, 2 years or like just this month. And so one of the ladies, and I apologize, I keep rubbing my head because it hurts. Like I feel like someone's hitting it really hard. But anyway, I felt guilty contacting certain people. But then they one of the ladies that I had contacting yesterday, she messaged me today and was like, because I had said to her, I was like, I'm so appreciative of you for pulling through for our team, for our goals that we have. And I was like, I hope that I wasn't bothering you too much. And today she was like, you didn't bother me at all. She's like, I honestly just have personal time like at 11 o'clock at night. Do you hear that banging? I'm so sorry. That's my daughter. She thinks that it's time for mommy right now.
Oh, so she's knocking on the door.
No, it's more like pounding. Like I thought she might be breaking something. But anyway, so it's just nice to have that reassurance and like, but also to be like, you know what? It's not like I was banging down her door yesterday,
Right.
but I was showing her that I had perseverance toward a goal. And that it doesn't take a whole lot of time for someone to really be a big part of that goal, if that makes sense. For my family, oh my goodness, my girls were so excited about our goal yesterday. They're so excited about where we landed because I explained to them what that means and what our future is going to look like. My husband, who honestly, guys, I've kind of kept him in the dark since I've really started to re-energize my business. And I kind of shed some light yesterday to him about what I'm doing. And he was just very encouraging and very supportive. And that's all I really needed him to be. And so it's just, showing them being outward with the goal, being outward with how you're pushing towards something. It really helped people kind of come alive yesterday. There was a lot of excitement in my appointments. There's a lot of excitement and good energy. around my family. And there were a lot of obstacles yesterday that I personally went through. And so, but yeah, it was a really good day. So,
Katie, I'm going to tell you something. And one of the reasons why I called you out is because you have had obstacles, but you were like a locomotive, and you were focused, and you didn't like swerve off to the left or to the right. You did stay focused, and you guys, Katie and I were on the phone until midnight, until I like started the video. We were talking, and she was still strategizing and figuring things out. And when 12 o'clock hit and she knew that she wasn't going to reach her goal, she said, "This is my plan. This is my new plan. This is what's going to happen. This is how I'm going to achieve that." And we talked first thing this morning, and you know what? She did not skip a beat. And so when her husband and her family and her team watches that happen, what does that stir up inside of you? I mean, because that stirs up inside of me I want to help that person mentality, because she's not crying in her Cheerios. She is ready to go after it again. She's a fighter. She's a champion. And who doesn't want to be on a champion team? You know what I mean? So, Katie, I admire you so much for your perseverance and not crying in your Cheerios this morning. So you go, girl. Okay.
thanks, Jana. I totally could have. We have a lot of Cheerios at this house.
Oh my gosh. And they're probably not all in the box because you've got little kids. So
Correct.
okay. All right. So you guys, who else would like to share how do you think when other people see you get back up and go again, like you get knocked down and you're like, "Oh no, this is my goal." How do you think that affects other people around you? Have you seen that happen, Rosie?
Yeah, I was going to say, and I'm going to use my children and grandchildren. I mean, my grandchildren are pretty young still, but you know, as a parent or a grandparent, I feel it's very important to just lead by example. And in a situation where, you maybe don't meet the goal, but you don't give up, you might change the timeline. They see that, and they are watching you. And even if you don't feel like you're getting as much support as you would like, there's still admiration there for you. And I kind of learned that firsthand, especially with my oldest daughter, who wasn't exactly, a great supporter of my Mary Kay business. That when we earned the car, especially the last time, she was proud of me, and then that made me feel really good. I mean, it's not all about me, but I think that shows my children are adults, but I still think that shows them, first of all, their mom is stronger than they probably ever thought, Second, I'm stubborn, and they already knew that, and I just hope I pass that along to my kids, because I don't want to just lay down and die. I want to go out kicking and screaming. And, if you have something that in your heart you feel like you want to accomplish, then do it. Don't give up so easily. I think so many things nowadays we're a give up society, and I'm not trying to, I'm just going to use this as an example. If you start this, maybe you start this line of study and, you're a month into it and like, well, I don't want to do that now, or maybe you get engaged or married and, I think we're kind of a throwaway society sometimes. I'm not saying everybody, but I think that now anymore, a lot of people are kind of a throwaway society, and they're not as willing to work for things in their lives. Again, I'm not saying everybody. I'm just saying that that's something that I've observed, that it's just too easy to give up. I mean, it is easier. It'd be a lot easier. And we've talked about this before, Jana, a couple of things that have happened recently, it would have been a lot easier for me to just say, I'm not going to do this anymore. But who's that going to help? Nobody, because I want to do what I'm doing. So would it have been easier to not do it? Yeah, sometimes it would have. But anyway, that's just my feeling. I just feel it's like anything else with children and grandchildren. You lead by example. How, you act and you perform, and your actions are so important, and they're being watched by your children, your grandchildren, your friends, everybody. So I don't know, I just think it's really important to be a role model for people.
That. I love Rosie, and I like that you talked about, you said the timeline may change, but the goal does not. And that's something that we learn in Mary Kay, that, you know what, just because you didn't hit it by that mark, get up and do it again. You just go for it. It's totally fine. And, you know, Rosie was talking about a give up society or a throwaway society. I also believe that we live in a microwave society, that if you can't cook up what you'd want to do in a business within minutes or seconds, you know, sometimes people do give up too quickly. And, you know, it just reminds me of what Stacy was talking about when we talked about what perseverance means, that sometimes you're not great initially. And by the way, I was really not great at all. I was bad at doing parties and everything else because I was not a very good student. I'm just going to tell you that. But I might be slow to learn, but once I get it figured out and once I build the skills, I will perfect them. I will figure out a way to be the best at that particular thing. And so I persevered. I never gave up. That's why I am where I am. And that's all. It's not because I've got special giftings or whatever. And, you know, somebody sent me a congratulations. They're like, you're such a dynamic leader. That's where I'm like, well, whatever. No, it's because I didn't quit and I love my people. And so so I love what you said, Rosie. I think that's really powerful. We do have to be the example setter. Does anyone else want to share on that subject real quick?
I do, if you don't mind.
Was that
Caitlin?
Caitlin. Okay. Yes, Caitlin.
So I know I'm fairly new, and I know a lot of you haven't met me yet, and I'm super excited to meet all of you. I just wanted to let you all know the absolute crap that I went through to get where I am now. I went through so much. When I was 18, I had a friend who was a Mary Kay consultant, and she was like, you know, join my team, let's do this. And I was like, yeah. So I was like, okay, I can do this, and I want to do this. And I had so many people that knocked me down and were like, you can't do this, so you shouldn't, because you won't be able to make enough money, you won't be successful. So I was like, I let them get in my head and I didn't do it. So here I am, 21 years old now, after I've worked so many hours in the medical field, not doing what I wanted to do. Not that nursing is bad. It wasn't for me. I never gave myself a chance to do what I truly wanted to do. I was working about 50 hours a week. I had no life. I was not happy. I wasn't able to spend time with my husband or, you know, just my family. I felt like a ghost and a zombie. So for me to have Mary Kay and to work from home, here I am in my office with Mary Kay, it's amazing to me, and it has truly changed my whole world. I am so grateful to have all of you to support me, even though, yeah, I still have some people that are like, I don't know why you're doing this. I'm doing it and I don't care, because that is what I want to do. And you know what? I'm still pretty new, but I've been successful for as what I've set my goals to.
Yes.
So I just wanted y'all to know that if I can do it with all the negativity, you guys can do it too.
That is awesome. I love that, Caitlin. Very good. And you know what? We're always going to believe in you. We're here to believe in you. And I want to just tell you that I just don't trust people that, you know, anybody that I wouldn't trade places with in life, I do not trust them. I do not take advice from people that I wouldn't trade places with. I mean, if somebody's been divorced 5 times, are you going to take marital advice from them?
Absolutely not.
Probably not. And it's not that it's just that might not be their strong suit. If somebody is in bankruptcy, are you going to take financial advice about building wealth? No, and that doesn't mean that, because I have done silly things financially, but I try not to give out too much, building wealth advice. But anyway, you guys, it's really important to not let people in our head, because God did not put the dream in their heart that he put in your heart. And so just remind yourself, they don't understand because they don't know what's in here and what's in here. And so they don't know the dream that God put in your heart. And so, Caitlin, I love that. You are a blessing to all of us and to our Mary Kay unit. And you're going to be, and everybody else that doesn't know you is going to be blessed when they do meet you. So,
Thank you.
okay, friends, we're going to go on to our third and final question. And that is this. And then after that, I'll probably shut off the recording, and then we will just do some updates and talk about what we're doing next week. Okay, so the number 3 is, how can perseverance change your future and the future of those you love? So if you don't give up and you don't settle for mediocrity, how can that change your future? What does that look like? I would like to hear from Mandy Thomas on this subject. Mandy, you knew that was coming, didn't you? Okay. All right, I think I unmuted you. Can you unmute
I sure
yourself?
did.
Oh, yes. Okay, so Mandy, would you like to share with us how perseverance can change your future and those that you love?
Sure. So I have a very big goal for this year, and this year is to completely full-time income. My full-time income causes a lot of stress and anxiety in my life and I've been there for 20 years, but it's just to the point that I think I have a different calling in life, and I don't think it's this job. So I would say continuing to do what you should do with your Mary Kay business full circle every single day could lead you to being able to stay home and not have to work full time, or it could give you things to your family that you've been wanting to do, such as trips or buying your son a car for graduation or putting a down payment on a house or whatever it may be. But right now, that's my goal for the beginning of next.
I think you cut out just a little bit. Did you say the beginning of next year? Okay, Mandy cut out. There you are. Okay, what did you say? The beginning of next year, Mandy?
So beginning of next year, I want to be able to walk in and get my 2-week notice.
Yes. And so, Mandy, I have one more question for you. What will that change in your health, do you believe?
Oh, a tremendous amount right now. I think the stress and anxiety has literally put me in a very place, I'll say that, with depression and all kinds of things. So getting away from that stressful situation.
So you were cutting out just a little bit, but what I heard was, some of the keywords that I heard were stress, anxiety, depression, and all of those things may be alleviated by following what God's plan is, if with your Mary Kay business. So, and when you have that piece in place, how does that change your time with your family? Everything is tied to something else.
I might actually be able to go on
I'm sorry, Mandy, what'd you say?
that I might actually be able to go on a classroom trip or go to school functions that I'm out on. So
Yes, absolutely. Okay, all right. Who else wants to share how perseverance can change your future and the future of those you love? Yes, Angel.
Well, a few things that I've seen in the past in my previous Mary Kay life. A lot of it changed, I believe, well, I know for a fact my mentality wasn't raised to think of myself or to that I could accomplish anything or do anything right. And so learning that myself, and then in turn transferring that belief into my children, um, they have a whole different mentality than I did. So that was probably the biggest gift that I've been given. Another time was after the divorce. Bree and I, my son was already out. We didn't have a home, and just persevering to move into an apartment, and then learning and believing that you can buy a house and creating a home that the kids can come to. But I think just persevering, when you celebrate those even small successes in your life, that's a joy that you have in your heart, that you can celebrate yourself and share with the rest of the world, the rest of the people around you, and that in turn can inspire others. But just to show yourself that you can accomplish something and that you know how to do it. You can teach somebody else, you can take other people with you, and you can continue to move forward and just see what else unfolds. And so the story can just get even bigger as you continue. So
I love that. I love that. And I know that you changed the lives of your children, and I love that perspective. And it reminds me a lot of something that Mary Kay, a whole theme that they had 6 years ago on Mary Kay's 50th anniversary. When we went to seminar, it was One Woman Can. And when they talked about One Woman Can, it talked about the ripple effect that you have, each one of you has on the people that surround you, your family, your coworkers, people, your friends, anybody that is around you that observes what you're doing and observes your perseverance and how you're getting up and how you're handling things and how you continue on. And so the ripple effect, they talked about this. They said, if you drop a pebble, just a little tiny pebble, doesn't even have to be a boulder, but a little pebble into a pond, that ripple effect goes across that pond. One woman can make a difference. And that is for sure, you guys. And so we don't know if that next booking that you're going to book, we don't know if you're going to touch somebody's life and maybe, share your faith with them or be able to pray with them or connect them with who you're going to be able to connect them with. But I do know one thing is for sure, if you give up or you don't book appointments or you don't continue to work your business, you have no opportunity for ripple effect. You have no opportunity to impact people's lives, because we don't impact lives well from behind a computer. We impact people's lives when we're heart to heart, knee to knee, we're right in front of people and we're helping them feel great about themselves. So I think that that's so key. So with that in mind, I know that you're all going to persevere. I want to talk a little bit about goal setting for the month of October. Don't play hide and seek with your independent sales director. That would be Rosie or I, or if you're not in our Mary Kay unit, you should contact your independent sales director and let her know what your desires are for the month of October. Now, let me tell you something. Sometimes if you say, well, my goal is to earn a red jacket. Okay, awesome. Why? That's what I'm going to ask you. Why do you want to earn a red jacket? What is that going to change in your life? And then I'm probably going to ask you why you want that changed in your life and how that's going to affect other people. So go ahead and dig deep within yourself and figure out what do I want this month? Why do I want that? What am I willing to do and what am I willing to give up to do that? By the way, yesterday we were not at our goal and I gave up a 1-hour massage with a massage therapist that I have to wait for 2 to 3 weeks to get back into. That's a big deal. I'm just saying. But you have to say no to certain things, you guys. You have to weigh things out. And so, what are you willing to say no to? And what does that break down to? I'm very strategic. And you know what? When you're going for a car, you're going to be glad that you got me in your corner, because Rosie and I can be very strategic and share with you little things that you can do to tweak that can make things happen faster. It's it's a good thing. So, but we want you to break down, and if you don't know how to do this, break down whatever your goal is to the number of faces and career talks that you need to do in the month of October to make that happen. Then we're going to break it down into, like, let's say you want to see 40 people, 40, do 40 facials. You know what I mean? Don't do them individually, have them come together. But anyway, 40 faces, we're going to divide that by 4 because there's 4 weeks in the month. And so you're going to know what you need to do this week because short-term goals are so important. And career talks as well. If you're going to see 40 people, it's very likely that you're probably going to be able to share the opportunity with 20 people. And so that's 5 a week. So we can help you. If you don't know exactly how to do that, we can help you. If it's a financial goal, what do you want that money for? Is there something in particular that you want that money for? What are you going to do with it? Because just working for money or to pay off debt is not very motivating in my experience. You have to have something that is tangible, that excites you, that is tied to your heart. And how much money do you want? And so if you know how much money you want, talk to your independent sales director and say, okay, how much do I need to sell? But if you've got a pen and paper handy, I'll go ahead and give you the formula real quick, okay? So your desired income for the month of October, you will write down, you can write desired income, and you multiply that times 2.5. And the sum of what the total of that is the retail amount that you need to sell. Okay? So that's giving you how much do I need to sell to make to pull, and what that will do is that'll give you a 40% profit. You'll reorder 50%. That this assumes that you've got some product on your shelf. So 50% goes back into reorder, but 40% is your profit. And 10% stays in your little savings, mini savings account within your Mary Kay checking account or savings account for upcoming events, preferred customer program mailings, any samples, things like that. So 2.5 2.5 is what you're going to multiply times the number, how much money you want to make. So that gives you how much you should sell. And so once you have that, if you're a brand new independent beauty consultant, you might not know this, but go facial 30 people. And then you write down how much retail everyone purchased, not including the sales tax, but write down, keep track of how much they sold. And then you're going to have your average dollars per face or average dollar per person that you share the product with. And so some people, like Denise Sandman, hers is probably over $100 because she does very, very well individually, and she has a high sales rate. But if you're a brand new independent beauty consultant and you don't know what your average is yet, we could use $50 per person. Okay, that's a conservative amount. So let's say that you wanted to, let's just say hypothetically that you wanted to make $1,000 right now, like in October. So 1,000 times 2.5 equals 2,500. You'd want to sell 2,500 this month to reach that goal. Okay. How many faces would you have to see? Well, you can take 2,500 divided by, let's say 50, if you are a new consultant and you don't know what your dollars per face average is, which, by the way, like I said, it takes about 30 people for you to get a good number average. You know what I mean? You can't facial 2 people and say, oh, well, my average per face is 0 because they didn't buy anything. That's ridiculous. Go out, and that's like trying to get a gas mileage, what your gas mileage is if you drive for 8 feet. You can't do it. You can't figure it out. Go drive down the road for several miles. And so by that, I'm meaning go facial some people, like 30 of them. Anyway, so I took 2,500 divided by 50, okay, because I'm going to divide the number of the dollars per face, and that equals 50. So I'd want to see if I wanted to sell $1,000, or excuse me, profit $1,000 this month, then I'd want to see 50 faces. So I'm going to divide that by 4. That's seeing 12.5 people a week. So we have formulas, and so be diligent in your planning, because when you just say, I want to go on target for my car, I want to earn my red jacket, I want to do this, that's fantastic, but I want to make sure you have a crystal clear plan that if I woke you up in the middle of the night and said, how many people are you going to see this week? You'd say 12.5 or whatever, 10. I'm going to see 10 people this week. And that way, when you're talking to people, you say, oh my gosh, I have a goal this week of sharing the Mary Kay products with 10 people. Would you be willing to help me out? So anyway, know your goals for sure. So, okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. I'm going to stop the recording first.